Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I am your host Eddie Kanobot and this is Isaac News. So sometime this year, yes, although the bill was consented to this year, I think in January or February, the PIA Act, the Petroleum Industrial Act by President Muhammadu Buhari. There's a lot of benefits as regards that act, but today we want to focus on the 13% oil 13% that we paid back to the state from oil derivation. So amongst other benefits from the PIA Act, there is a 13% that would be given back to the state. So let us say, just like we've seen here, Anambra State has received 268.2 million as oil producing state. This is a 13% derivation from oil drillings for the month of July only, because this news I'm bringing to you now is actually it was received in August for oil drilling in July, because as of July, Anambra State was recognized officially as an oil producing state, and every oil producing state is supposed to receive 13% of the general monetary value of oil drilled from its state per month. So whatever was drilled from Anambra State in the month of July, 13% of that figure came up to 268.2 million. This does not include its monthly allocation from the federal government. It does not include its internally generated revenue. It does not include any other money paid by the government as bonus or arrears or anything at all. This is just its 13% derivation from the total amount of oil drilled from Anambra State in the month of July. So this is one of the major benefits of the PIA Act, the Petroleum Industrial Act, that was consented to by the president early this year. And we have seen that another state also that has equally began to enjoy this is Kogi State. Kogi, although not is a northern state on the map, and theoretically speaking, they are not regarded as a core north. So when you go to this, you hear things like, "Oh, oil has been discovered in the north for the first time." Speaking about states like Gombe and I think Castina, where oil was drilled a few weeks ago. But Kogi is a northern state in a way. It's a boundary state between the north and the southern part of the country. And Kogi State also received millions of naira in the month of August for oil drillings in the month of July, because in the month of July, Kogi State was officially recognized as an oil producing state in Nigeria. Now, the other states that have joined, such as Gombe and Bauchi, are also going to enjoy this 13% derivation of the amount of oil drilled from this state per month. So whatever Gombe currently receives as its monthly allocation, it would keep receiving it. Same with Bauchi. It will keep receiving other areas and benefits that are supposed to come to this state. But in addition, it will be receiving hundreds of millions of naira as its 13% derivation. Remember that it was said that about 3 billion barrels of about 2 or 3, I'm not sure, billions of barrels of crude oil has been located in the oil well in these places. So each time oil is being drilled from Gombe and Bauchi state per month, 13% is going to come back to the state as a bonus for the state, for them to use it to carry out whatever they want to do with the money. And we are hoping that this money will be properly, invested and used to better the lives of the occupants of both Gombe, Bauchi, then Anambra and Kogi, who have begun to enjoy this 13% derivation. Another benefit, just before we close for this video, is the 3% derivation that is supposed to go to the local communities. So if you know the reason why there's a lot of fight right now in the Niger Delta region to stop oil theft, is because when this PIA Act was consented to, the people stealing oil and doing bunkering came to understand that the amount of money they make from bunkering, they will make more if they were to collect the 3% that we're supposed to come to the communities where oil is being drilled. So what happens in bunkering is that these guys connect pipelines to the general government pipelines, and they redivert crude to local refineries where they refine it in very dangerous conditions, which sometimes leads to explosions and mass death. It's very risky, but then it fetches them some amount of money. At the end of the day, they will make hundreds of millions. But if only they were to allow 3% to come to the communities where oil is being drilled, they will still make millions. It would be safe. There would be no issue. There would be no environmental pollution. There will be no threats to life. They will not have to bribe officials. They will not have to be afraid of where the next money is going to come from. They will not be afraid of court clash. People trying to now take control of the bunkers or the oil ring. All those things will be out. This is why Tompolo and a lot of the guys are really fighting oil theft and oil bunkering, because when you reduce the amount of oil coming from your state, you are reducing the amount of your 3% that will come to you as benefit for the oil drilled from your state. So these guys are trying to stop all sort of oil bunkering so that a lot of oil can be taken from their respective communities to the government, and the government will then pay them their 3%. They are bent on ensuring that they get their 3% and they enjoy it safe and sound without threat to life and property, and having to live in very hazardous conditions. So these and many more are the benefit of the Petroleum Industrial Act that has been consented to by the president, which many people were trying to throw dust and raise aspersions and say, hey, they want to do this, they want to do that. How dare they give communities 3%? And I'm like, what kind of hypocrisy is this? Previous government before now is giving you nothing. This government say, I'll give you 3%. You think 3% is 30,000? 3% of trillions of naira. That is more money than Bonke can give you. And they will now still give your state 13%. Altogether, the government, and this 3% is not per state, it is per community. So if in your state 10 communities have oil wells that are drilling oil, all those 10 communities will receive 3% to each of them across board. Every oil producing state in Nigeria, that is trillions of naira going directly back to the communities where oil is being drilled. This PIA Act is also checking oil spillage and trying to provide money that will try to rectify the damage that has been done by bunkering and oil spillage, and also trying to curb and reduce the amount of gas being flared. In fact, by the year 2030, gas flaring is supposed to end in Nigeria, courtesy of the gas pipeline being built across the length and breadth of the country and across the length and breadth of Africa, because Nigeria is planning to sell gas to Africa and to Europe. So a lot of gas pipeline is being laid. In fact, news, recently we just found out that the Nigeria-Algeria pipeline will be completed in the first quarter of 2023. And that is pipeline built all the way from Nigeria in Delta State, all the way up to the northern hemisphere, to the peak of Algeria. That pipeline lane is about to be completed by the 2023 first quarter. That is money that will start coming into the Nigerian pocket, the Nigerian, economy in a very short time. So there's a lot of benefit that we stand to gain from this act. And I may probably make a video on the PIA Act and talk about it. But this is good news. Okay, so Kogi is already making millions from a 13% derivation. Anambra received 268 million from July only. This is November making this video. It has received its August collection. It has received its September collection. It has received its October collection. As we enter December, it will receive its November collection. If you count 268 million as of July, if you receive 200 million in 5 months, that is what? 1 billion naira. Money that they were not looking for. 1 billion naira added in 5 months to what they were already making. This is money that can be used to do a lot of things. So this is a very good one. We thank the committee that actually worked to produce this PIA Act, and for the president also consenting to it and sticking to it and actually paying these states the money that is due them. So we're going to end for today's video. Like, share, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts in the comment section. Just show us love as often as you can. Until we see you again, remain blessed.